What's up, guys? Jason here. Just want to offer a little encouragement tonight. Just for anyone who's just beginning the journey, anyone who's on the journey, anyone who's struggling, anyone who's even doing good. Who just, man, if you're doing good, encouragement is only just like adding fuel to the fire, man. Like, why not get more drive? Why not get more, motivation? Whether you're doing okay or good or struggling, So encouragement benefits anybody, no matter where they're at on their walk, But I just want to touch on the fact that, our life is so much more bigger than just our life, There's no way to measure like every branch that our life stretches out to or impacts or touches or has relationships with. It's too vast. When you think of all the way to, a baby, toddler, child, teenager, adult, how many people you have met throughout those times and how many people you've influenced, hopefully in a good way. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that our life is more about just our life. It's so much bigger than just what we think in our head or what we experience day to day, our routines, job, whatever. It's so much bigger than we are even aware of. And, and this is encouragement for anyone who's like struggling, trying to break free from things or trying to maintain freedom, losing drive, losing motivation, like losing the why. Like, why am I doing this? And sometimes when we think about us, when we just focus on us, it doesn't feel like enough. Like, sometimes we could think, okay, well, doing this, whatever, partaking in this addiction only affects me, doesn't affect anyone else. That's a lie. That is so not true, because it does affect people. You not being free is preventing other people from getting free, had I not gotten free from these addictions, I wouldn't be helping all these people that I've been blessed to just help out. And, it's just amazing. I had never would have thought or seen the impact that my life has had on people in just the last couple years through getting sober, through making these videos, and through just sharing my story and meeting people out and about in life, whether working or friends of friends or whatever. And there's a cool fact, that free people. I don't know if you got that, but free people who've gotten free people, I think of like a big walled prison, like kind of like old castle style building, right? And there's a hole in the wall, like someone found an escape route, and I found this escape route, and I'm like, hey guys, like, there's a way out. Like, we don't gotta stay in here. Like, there's a way out. We're not locked in this prison. We're not stuck. We're not in bondage. We're not helpless. There's a way out right now, right here. Like, look at how I got out. I'm out of it. I'm out of the prison. I'm out of the bondage, just the chains of addiction, man, that feels so real, that feels like you're just never gonna get out of, And praise God, I got out of that. Praise God, and now I want to help everyone else that I can get out as well, because I found the escape route, And like I say in all my videos, most of all my videos, like, my number one factor of getting free was relying on the power of God. like really trusting that he is who he says he is, that he is faithful, that he says he won't let us be tempted beyond what we can bear, but he also promises a way out, you know? And that's so huge, guys. Like, you know, if we just really cling to that and trust that and let it become reality in our mind, that, you know, there is a way provided out, you know? And sometimes temptations can just be so strong, so overwhelming, so they can make you feel helpless at times, you know, depending on where you're at in your walk. And like, first getting free, guys, it's the hardest, because you're learning to do something that you haven't done in a long time. So it's new. You know, I often refer, when I first got sober, guys, like, I felt like a newborn fawn, like a newborn baby deer or something, that like legs are shaking, like it could barely stand up on its own. Like, I had to learn how to live again. I had to learn how to walk in freedom, because I wasn't used to it. I was used to addictions. I was used to being a slave to these different substances, and that was my normal, you know? So I had to understand that there's a new normal available to me, and it takes time for these new things to become normal again, right? And that's just one thing I want to touch on tonight, is like that we, you know, before I even quit these addictions, whatever, say kratom for example, I was still using kratom, and I was laying on the beach, and I was like imagining myself being free from kratom, and it just lit me up with joy. It just lit me up with joy. And I was even like high on kratom when I was thinking this. Like, I was at the beach by myself, just laying there. But what I thought in my mind, like the thought of being free, it got me excited, got me just filled with joy, you know? And that thought, you know, that thought I captured it and used it for drive, used it for, you know, fuel to drive me actually towards making that become a reality, right? And then as we start to grow, guys, when these new realities become somewhat normal, you know, we have to like maintain that, right? And as you begin to get sober, you start valuing yourself more, you start having more confidence, and it becomes a new normal, right? And then you still keep growing, and then that becomes a new normal, you know? And it's definitely not out of pride, it's definitely not out of arrogance, it's more so out of humility, like humbling yourself before God, and letting him do the work in you, and you giving him the glory, you giving him the credit. There's a verse that says, those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted, you know? And there's power in just humbling yourself and just being like, you know what, God, like, I need your help. I've tried this my own, I've tried it on my power, like, I can't do it, I need you, you know? And out of that humbling yourself, he will begin to work. He will begin to exalt you, if you will. Not for the purpose of being exalted, but it's just an after effect, you know? Those who are humble will be exalted, you know? And opposite, those who exalt themselves, those who operate with pride, those who talk themselves up so highly and think higher than themselves than they ought to, you know, then those people be humbled, you know, will be humbled. And there's another verse that says, pride comes before a fall, you know? If you're too prideful, if you're too full of yourself, you got a fall coming your way, you know? But anyways, I'm kind of getting all over the place. I'm just excited, guys, just to share this truth, this is my reality, guys. This is not just something I believe. This is my life, my reality. It's real. So there's another verse, Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Where like you realize as you start to grow, you receive that as true, and it becomes normal, and as your mind is transformed, right? Because we all know, like, take 5 steps forward, take 2 steps back, right? Like, the possibility to regress is possible, because sometimes we can think that this new growth in us, this new ground, this new person we're becoming that we've never really tapped into before, there can be lies that come into our mind that tell us, that's not really who you are. You're not really growing. No, you're still that same old person. And we need to take those thoughts captive, like it says in another verse. Take every thought captive to the obedience of Christ, So that means take every thought captive, like, is this true? And if it's not, reject it. It's got to go, Because not every thought we think is ours. Not every thought we think is true. And so we need to, like, run every thought through that filter of truth or lies, If it's not true, we got to reject it. And I know it's not that easy sometimes if we got all these thoughts racing in our mind. But it can become, more normal through practice, through just experience of just doing it over and over again. As your mind starts to calm down, you start to get more peace. You're able to kind of monitor your mind and examine and be more aware of the thoughts that are going on in your mind. So it says, do not be conformed to this world, right? So don't be conformed by what everyone else is doing. Don't be conformed by what people say is right, even though you have your own conviction and you know what's wrong in your heart. You know what I mean? So, look at liquor stores, for example, right? It is legal for me to drink alcohol. Does that mean it's right? And I'm not here saying, like, I don't think anyone should ever drink. Like, that's between you and, yeah. But just because something's legal doesn't make it right in your life. If they made rape legal, would that be all right to do then because it's legal? No, you got to draw the line somewhere. So there's some things in life that are acceptable to society, acceptable to culture, that's not right, to be honest, And this could apply to drugs, addictions, whatever. So it says, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So as we start to renew our mind, as we start to grow and capture that growth, receive it as our new normal, if you will, and we continue to renew our mind, grow from there, receive that as normal, and keep going forth in that way. Yeah, sometimes you might regress a little bit, but you're always keeping that constant progression forward, primarily, And it's interesting that conformity, do not be conformed by this world. That's like from the outside in, right? Conforming outside in, pressures, influence on us. But being transformed is from the inside out, from the renewal of our mind, So it's just a really cool concept and process. It's more than a concept. It's true. That as we renew our mind, like we begin to shift and shape our lives, our reality, and just the way we carry ourselves, the way we see our potential, the possibilities. Once you really start to look at life and how powerful God created us to be. I mean, there is no saying what we can accomplish. You know, there's no saying what we can do. You know, if we really like commit and really focus and believe we could do something, I mean, that's dangerous. If you really tap into that and understand that we've been made in such a way, you know. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to just touch on this topic, that really, like, our life is so much bigger than what we know or see or can even measure. And if we're having trouble like really getting motivation or drive to, you know, bring our life into a better direction, you know, let's take our focus off just us and really focus on everyone else around us, people we haven't even met yet. You know, there's so many opportunities and relationships and just people that we have the potential to change lives. Not only our own life, but everyone around us, our family, friends, people we haven't met, you know. So if you guys are lacking drive, you know, trying to make the right decisions, trying to better yourself, you know, really look at, you know, you're doing this for so many more people than just yourself. And when you realize that, it's, man, it's a driving force that helps tremendously. So yeah, guys, dang, I cannot believe this has been 17 minutes already. That is crazy. It felt like I was talking for 5 minutes, you know. Wow. But yeah, guys, that's long enough. I love y'all. If you guys got questions, comments, please, I'll respond. Just want to help. So I love you guys. As always, God bless you. Hang loose. Peace.